Hello everybody. Okay, today's lesson is going to be on atoms. And I'm sure some of you have done this already in middle school. Okay, so you're going to look for your subatomic particles. And okay, there we go. So I'm writing. Okay, subatomic particles are your protons, your neutrons, and your electrons. Your protons are always positive, your neutrons are always neutral, and your electrons are always negative, okay? And here's an example drawing. Right here in the middle is your nucleus, and that's where you have your protons and your neutrons. Let me put that in black so you can see it a little better. Okay, so your protons and your neutrons are in here, and your electrons are out here on the outside. Okay, so these three things are the most important. It's really what makes up your atom. And the center part is always your nucleus. Okay, the picture got a little cut off right there. Okay, so now that nucleus inside contains the protons and the neutrons. The orbitals on the outside is what's going to have the electrons. Okay, that's just a little beginning thing. Okay, so now here your objective for today is you're going to identify the different parts of the atom. So you're going to tell me how to calculate the protons, the neutrons, and the electrons. Now you are going to need a periodic table, and that periodic table you're going to be able to find on the Schoology page. On the top there, you're going to see a folder that says links. You're going to click on that folder, and there's an online periodic table, or you can always print one out for yourself as well. Okay? All right, let me show you how to do that. Okay. All right, here we go. So now, when you look at your periodic table, there's going to be a whole bunch of boxes just like this, okay? Sometimes you have the atomic number on the top, sometimes you have it on the side, and sometimes you have it at the bottom as well. The number that's a whole number, this is your atomic number. Okay, let me say that one more time. The number that's a whole number is your atomic number. Okay, now the number that has decimals, not always rounded, this is going to be your atomic mass. Now with these two numbers, you're going to be able to find anything you need to for every single atom in that periodic table. You'll be able to find all three subatomic particles. Okay, so let me give you an example. Okay, now that you know how to locate your atomic number on any element on your periodic table, your atomic number is the same as your protons. Now, your atomic number can also be the same as your electrons, but if it's a charged atom, the electrons are different, okay? Let's go ahead and show you show that a different day. So for right now, your protons is really what identifies the atom. And that would be something important to write down in your notes or something. The protons identifies your atom, your element, okay? All right, if your protons, if this element does not have a charge, your protons are the same as your electrons, always, okay? Okay, now let's talk about the mass number. The number with, whoops, let's not move that. The number with all the decimals is your mass number, okay? It can be on the top. Sometimes some periodic tables have it at the bottom, but the way you know is you're going to have like 15.9999. Okay, and that's your mass number. Okay, now how do I find my mass number? Remember we saw those pictures of your atoms? Okay, that center part is your nucleus, and the outside part are your electrons. The protons and the neutrons together is what makes up your mass. Okay, so I already have 22 protons, right? And we know this number is protons because your atomic number is the same as your protons. So let's put that over here. P, we have 22 protons. So how can we figure out the electrons? I mean, the electrons, there's no charge here, so that means they're going to be the same as your protons. So I have 22 electrons. Okay, now using that same information, how can I get from my protons to my neutrons? Well, you already have the mass number, right? And you can round off. So that 47.8 will become, let's make that a 48. That's your mass. Okay, we're going to subtract the protons, which was what? 22. Okay. So now, 48 minus 22, 8 minus 2 is 6. 4 minus 2 is 2. And this number are your neutrons, that 26. And that is how you find your neutrons. Remember, you will always subtract the mass minus your protons. Okay, very good. Let's go on to the next one. Okay, now let's do an example together. Let's look at potassium. If you look at your periodic table, your atomic number is 19. And the number with all the decimals, this is your mass. Okay, so my atomic number is 19. Let's put this in red, 19. My protons are always the same as your atomic number, so that's 19. Electrons, well, here do I have a charge? Nope, and what do I mean by charge? Do you see a positive or a negative number here in the atom? No, so that means it's neutral, and so the electrons are going to be the same as your protons. Okay. Now my mass number is 39.098, but we can round it off to 39. My atomic number is 19, and this is how I'm going to figure out my neutrons. Because your protons plus your neutrons is what gives you the mass, right? So mass is 39 minus 19. This is going to give you a 20. This would be your neutron number. Okay, and that's it. Okay, let's try another one. This is aluminum, and this is what you should see on your periodic table as well, this box. Okay, so let's do one by one. Atomic number. Remember, your atomic number is the same as your protons. So because the atomic number is 13, your protons are also going to be 13. Now, there is no charge. If you had a charge, you would see like a +1 or +3 over here on that side. And that would change your electrons. And we'll do that tomorrow or on Wednesday, okay? But here there's no charge. So that means that your protons are the same as your electrons as well, okay? All right, now your mass number, remember your mass number is your protons plus your neutrons, okay, and it's over here on the bottom. And you can round that off. So 26.9, that 9 is 5 or higher, so we're going to round it off to 27. Okay, now my atomic number is 13. Remember, you must be able to use your mass number and your atomic number or protons to find your neutrons. So you're going to subtract those two numbers. So 27 minus the 13, this will give you your neutron number. And that's how many neutrons you have in your atom. Okay? Let's go ahead and do another example, and you're going to do it on your own. Okay, this is sulfur. Here's the information that you need for sulfur. Okay, so fill out all of these, try it on your own, and I'm right here on Zoom for you to ask questions. Okay. You can hit pause. Once you're ready, you can go on to the next thing. And you can't write on the screen, but just put it on a notebook or a piece of paper or something. Okay, now here are the answers. Double check your answers to see if you got the same thing. If not, then place on pause and ask me a question. Okay, now before I send you to your little assignment towards the end of this video, I want to show you how you can also identify what atom you're looking for. So here you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of the yellow, which are your protons. That proton identifies what your element is. So now take your periodic table and check to see which one has an atomic number of 8. And if you look at your atomic number there, oxygen has the atomic number of 8. That identifies your atom. Okay, that proton identifies your atom. Your electrons are also 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so your electrons are the same as your protons. This means that you do not have a charge. Now let's see how many neutrons we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so you have 8 neutrons. Therefore, the mass for oxygen is 16 because protons plus neutrons gives you your mass number. Okay. All right, on the next frame, I'm going to put in a little assignment. You're going to take out a sheet of paper and you're going to give it a try. Okay, here's your assignment. You can take a quick picture or snapshot or screenshot. That way you know what elements to do. You're going to find the protons. Now don't forget to look at your periodic table. It identifies your element. And also your neutrons, your electrons, the total mass number, which, yes, you can round this off. And your atomic number, this should already be a whole number. Okay, go ahead and give that a try.